guys, so today I'm going to show you a truly amazing card trick, and this is what it looks like. So we can begin by giving the cards a bit of a mix-up, just like this, and once the cards are shuffled, I can go ahead and show you here all the cards are genuinely shuffled and mixed. So once we have these cards here, I'm simply going to deal 10 cards onto the table. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once we have 10 cards on the table, we will leave these here for the time being. We'll get back to them a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to have the spectator reach in anywhere they want into the deck, and hopefully you guys can see this card that they chose. Please go ahead and remember this card the best that you can. Once that card has been remembered, they can go ahead and lose it anywhere back into the center of the deck like this, and we can also give it a quick shuffle so that it gets even more lost into the deck. So at this point, I would invite the spectator to choose any one of these 10 cards. However, I don't want you to think that I'm forcing this in any way, so this is a truly free choice. Any number between 1 and 10 is a viable option. But in order to make this a free choice, I'm simply going to cut the cards at a random position. Hopefully we get a random number here. So here we cut to an 8. This could truly be any number, but let's count 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this will be the card that we use right over here. Let's take a look. We have, oh, look at that, another 8. That's just a coincidence, but as you guys can see, look, one more, one less would have been a completely different number. In fact, any one of these numbers would have been a completely different option, right? But here, you chose this card, the 8 of spades. Now, because you chose the 8, we're going to count 8 cards down in the deck and see where we land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. And I would ask the spectator what their card was. And hopefully, their card was the Jack of clubs. And that right there is the trick, and everything is completely examinable. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you want to learn how it's done, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So this is inspired by a trick that I had taught a few years ago on this channel, but I love the idea of having the spectator choose a random card that corresponds to the position of their selection. I just love that idea. So I wanted to play around with that a little bit more, and I came up with this. So we have 5 cards for our preparation, and these 5 cards will be as such. It will be the 3 9s and 2 8s. It doesn't matter what the suits are. All that matters are the values. So the next step is to take out any 5 random cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make sure that these cards are all like different values and make sure that they have kind of a wide range between them. So I'm gonna replace this king here with maybe like a 6 or something. But yeah, just make sure these are different than 8s and 9s here. So in order to set up all these cards, you're going to take a random card and then place down a 9. And then you're gonna take a random card, place down an 8, random card 9, random card 8, random card 9. And this will be your 10 card stack right over here that will be placed on top of the deck in the beginning of the trick. So this will go right here, and now you're ready to perform the trick. So to start, I give it a little false shuffle by taking half the cards. I in-jog the next card, and then I can freely shuffle on top of the in-jog like this. And this really gives the illusion that I can really shuffle the cards. And now I can press up at the in-jog like this and freely shuffle this top half of the deck like this. As you can see, all the cards in the upper half are getting freely shuffled, but once those cards pass the break, I just take these and I throw them right on top, and that will control my stack back to the top of the deck. So once you're in this position, you can show the order of the cards, and the spectator really won't be able to see any particular order because the cards look very, very randomized here. So once you're in this position, you can now deal 10 cards from the top, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 cards will be, of course, your stack. So now you can freely shuffle the deck because your stack is removed, so you don't need to worry about the order anymore. And you're going to now get a break on the 9th card in the deck by spreading off 3, and then 6, and then 8 cards. And then I'm just going to hold my index finger right on this card as I continue to spread through, and now the spectator can truly choose any card. So now once they've chosen a card, you can have them remove it, take a look, and as they do this, you're just going to catch a break. So you're just going to lift up where your index finger is and then insert your left pinky in the back right over here to catch a break at the 9th position. And now you're going to get ready for a little bluff pass control. So you're going to have the Queen of Clubs chosen over here in this case. And now you're going to have them say stop at any point. And just like a riffle force or a bluff pass, you're going to just pick up 8 cards like this and now have them place their card directly in the 9th position, and then it can go right back on top. And now what I did in the performance was I just did a little in-jog shuffle once more, and then I left the cards on the table like this to make the illusion a bit stronger that the cards are shuffled. But in reality, what you should do is just shuffle those back to the top so that now the selection is back in the 9th position once again. So now once you're in this position, you are now going to have the spectator freely choose any one of these cards, and they can truly have a free choice at any number between 1 and 10. And here is how you're going to force one of the even numbered cards. If they choose an even number between 1 and 10, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, obviously you know that your stack force cards are going to be your 8s and 9s at these positions. So any even number that they choose is obviously going to be okay, even the number 10, which is going to be the number 9 over here. However, if they choose an odd number, instead of counting from left to right, you're simply going to count the opposite direction from right to left. So for example, if they choose 3, you're just going to count 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to force one of your force cards. Same thing if they choose 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be your force card. 7 would be here, 7 would be a force card, and 9 would be down here, one of your force cards as well. So that is how you're going to be able to force any one of these cards, and it truly doesn't matter which one they choose. Let's say they do 5. So since 5 is odd, we have to count from right to left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to flip over this card, show it, and then to hit home the fact that it's a truly free choice, I like to show the cards on either side. And this just goes to show that the value they selected is a completely random number. And you can also flip over the other cards. And even though there will be other 8s and 9s in the pile, obviously they are very far away from the number that they actually named. So it still seems like it's impossible that they could have chosen any other outcome. So now here comes the multiple outs part of the trick. If they choose the number 9, you're simply going to count to the 9th card and flip it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that will be their card, the Queen of Clubs. However, just like you saw in the performance, the spectator in that case had chosen an 8. So here's what to do if they choose an 8. You're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. And then you're going to ask the spectator what the card was as you take the next card. And you're just going to flip over the next card showing the Queen of Clubs. In order to hide the discrepancy here, just make sure not to say your card will be the 8th card in the deck, or don't say your card will be the 9th card in the deck. Just say we're going to count this number and your card will be there. And that makes it a little bit more vague because it doesn't specify whether it is the 8th card or right after the 8th card. So in this case, I just say we're going to count 8 cards and let's see what we find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've counted 8 cards. What was your card? Boom. It doesn't really cause any issues. Nobody's going to notice any discrepancy. But yeah, that is essentially how the trick works. So as you can see, it's a very simple procedure, and I really love the idea of having the spectator choose any one of these 10 cards on the table. It just seems like a completely free choice, even though you are completely forcing the spectator to choose the exact value that you want. It just seems very, very fair, and like there's no way you could possibly arrange that aspect of the trick. So yeah, that's the trick. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you want to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But yeah, see you guys for the next one. Bye.